come on in, have a seat. There's no easy way to say this to you, Noah, but we're all worried about you. We're all here today because we've noticed some erratic behavior from you, and we don't think you're well. You're constantly building this boat of yours. You're spending way too much time obsessing over having enough sexually active animals to repopulate the planet after some cataclysmic weather event. Have you listened to some of what you're saying, Noah? You're threatening Emma Watson day in and day out. You're spending way too much time with Methuselah. No one lives that long and isn't taking some powerful hallucinogens. In short, Noah, we think your addiction to the Creator is a problem, and we've all written some letters to try and shake you out of it. We love you, buddy, and come rain or shine, we're here for you. Okay, mostly rain. Yeah, we get it, Noah. We watched Rquiem for a Dream and Noah.
Ah, the French champagne.
Champagne!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
Once they were men, now they are land crabs.
Amanda Bynes is a national treasure.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
And Daddy lost his eagle.
I hope
So-
no one from my family listens to this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is...
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the podcast Citizen Kane versus. It's so great to have you with us once again.
Or for the first time.
Or for the first time. I just assume that if there's maybe
Maybe the last time.
Yeah, maybe the last time. Thanks for joining us for your last ever listening as we are doing an Aronofsky week. If you're not familiar with the pod, what we do is we take two movies, one considered to be more of a classic, another one that is considered to be more on the schlocky side, linked by some sort of theme or, in this case, director, and we ask ourselves, which is better? My name is Jim Ran, and I'm joined by my two friends, a one, and the other. Good, perfect. If you have seen Noah, one of the movies this week, you understand what we're doing entirely.
I think it's safe to say that no one has seen Noah.
$400 million worth of people saw
That movie
Noah.
made $400 million.
It's about the bibble, Dan.
That movie made $400 million.
bibble, buddy.
People love the bibble.
the pained look.
I've lost all hope in humanity. That is so upsetting. All right, continue.
Yeah,
Jack.
and that being said, they made that much money. And Dan, can you name all of Noah's both biological and adopted children? Go.
Okay, there was Noah.
Okay, yeah, that's
There was his,
Not a kid. Shh.
there was his wife.
good luck.
Mhm.
Also appearing in this film. Yeah.
Yeah, there was his daughter's name. Or the adopted daughter was Ela.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Shem.
Ham.
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 I
Ham was
know there was
Except
ham.
sometimes it was hem.
I think it was
Ham.
supposed to be hem, but people just yelled ham a lot. Ham. Because
feel
like
like-
Emma Watson's British.
Is
maybe?
is ham with a British accent?
Ham.
Ham.
It shouldn't be, but it might be.
No.
if
And then
you're
there was another
confused.
one. There was also
Yep, there sure was another one, and it was the
Fuffo.
most
Shem.
struggled name in the entire movie.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then there was Tubal Cain.
Tubal Cain was the bad guy.
What
Which,
Yeah, what
which
is- what is
sounds like a
Tubal?
toothpaste.
It does. Or like a villain in like Street Fighter. What does Tubal mean?
It's just a child of Cain.
Is that real? Is that actually?
He's a descendant of Cain.
I
so
understand that that's what they were
but
going
they're
for. but
probably all like Fuff of Cain, Sheep Dom Cain, Flog Cain, Tubal Cain.
You have a really amazing way of just like slipping in your subtle racism into everything we do.
What the fuck?
Shinbun Cain.
Come on.
No, that
Google
Dan, I'm not with you.
What? Come on.
I
That was-
think
that
you're
was
just
funny.
looking for racism
Yeah.
now.
I do want to.
You
does that say about
SJW son of a bitch.
We're that podcast. now.
I really could have used your support there, Jack.
Yeah, you definitely gotta check out Noah. Honestly, just for them sort of saying it's like no one on set was ever told what the names are supposed to be, so none of them confidently ever said them. He's like, her name was Nell, and she was good. She was kind. What was her name again? I told you already. I said it once. You didn't hear it? Nell. And I spoke to my brother, and he agrees with me. Noah.
At least we got Methuselah, because it's hard to mumble Methuselah.
No.
Methuselah's a strong name.
Oh yeah, and everyone knows. People like have heard that.
People have
name.
heard
Not everyone.
Methuselah.
Is Methuselah a biblical figure in this story?
Yeah. Well, in this story, I
Yeah.
don't know. He is the great grandfather of Noah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess yes, in this story he is.
Yeah, but I don't know if he full on like
He's the great grandfather or the grandfather.
the grandfather of Noah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't know if I don't know my Bible well enough to know if he like finger guns a womb back into Emma Watson in the original story.
And you get a baby. And you get a baby.
Yes, you do. Oh, Tubal Cain. So, crafty Tubal Cain, you scamp. So, in this Aronofsky week, Noah, if you haven't caught on, is our schlocky pick of the week. I'd say with good reason, and we'll get into why. I think we made the right choice. Sometimes we know we've watched movies and we go, maybe we're wrong, because we've discussed, like, it's weird. What's a classic? What schlock can be unsure. We hadn't seen Noah, for all we know.
Could have been a quiet masterpiece.
Yeah, it happens. A soon-to-be cult classic.
Yeah.
It just hasn't had its resurgence yet. And then we chose as our classic of Aronofsky's work because we just thought it was one of his earlier pieces. It's probably one of his most famous, and it's already a kind of a cult classic. It's a favorite among teenagers, and it's one of Dan's all-time favorite movies, right, Dan?
I mean, I guess so. If you determine my all-time favorite movie based on frequency of viewing, it's up there.
Yeah,
it's up there for sure.
Gods of Egypt.
It's
Requiem for a Dream.
It goes Gods of Egypt. Sorry, it goes 300. 300.
God.
Then the
That movie's
original.
pretty sick.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. Then the original Mortal Kombat.
That's sick, not good or great.
That's
It's a
great.
good movie.
Okay, so 300.
Yeah,
The original Mortal Kombat.
and VP2.
That's coming. Gods of Egypt, and then Requiem for a Dream. Probably, actually, that is like my most viewed movies.
Right, most viewed. Okay.
Yeah,
And
favorite.
Yeah, and I feel like whether you want Requiem to be your favorite or not, I feel like watching you watch it, it was also like it also lives in you in a place like it's.
Yeah, that movie is fucked, and it like I think I first saw it when I was like 20 or 21 or something.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh.
That's later than I
Yeah.
thought. Kind of hard, actually.
Kind of what?
Like hard. I think I saw this movie when I was like truly like 12 or 13.
That's a fucked up age to watch that movie.
Yeah, girl.
That's not a movie for
no.
preteens. No.
But at the same time, I didn't I didn't fully get it. Whereas if I saw it for the first time at 21, I think I would have been like,
yeah.
I was today years old when I first saw Requiem for a Dream.
oh, this is your
and
first.
I feel like
I forget this.
I feel like your reactions for the most part were appropriate for what you were seeing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you were covering your face.
Yeah, a lot.
You were going like, fucking Aronofsky. Fuck.
Son of a, he loves his sensory overload.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That movie is fucked. And like every time I watch it, I try to convince myself that it's like needlessly or like ruthlessly fucked, but I still haven't gotten there. I think it's all necessary.
We'll yeah.
Let's do a quick segue. I want to talk a bit more about Aronofsky before getting into the rounds.
Sure.
But let's just do, we have little boxing themed intros for you, just to sort of help summarize. That really varies. We'll see what I say.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun thing, and it's part of the boxing theme. So just, it's different. Enjoy.
In the red corner, representing the classics, a harrowing depiction of addiction that shows how quickly life can spiral out of control when you drugs, 'cause drugs are bad. 4 stories interweave and disperse as the thing they crave destroys everything when all they really needed was love. Coming in at 102 minutes, starring Ellen Burstyn, Jennifer Connelly, and Marlon Wayans, Requiem for a Dream. And in the beginning, in the blue corner, representing the schlock, it's the Old Testament. Coming in at 138 minutes, starring Russell Crowe and Emma Watson, Noah.
Okay, so Aronofsky, as our director of this episode, the director de jour, because remind me what other stuff he's done, because I know there were some movies that I was like,
Swan.
Black Swan is
Mother.
him. Mother I haven't seen.
Pie.
Life of Pi?
Life of Pi? Or?
No. Your favorite film there too.
Yeah, there's one that I really like that I always forget.
The Fountain.
Surf Ninjas.
He did The Fountain.
He did The Fountain.
Right. See, yeah, I really like The Fountain.
Yeah, Fountain's dope.
Which one is
There's
The
a lot of
Fountain?
Fountain in Noah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is.
Fountain is Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz. Hugh Jackman's trying to solve cancer
Oh.
by
Okay.
finding the fountain of life, and it's interwoven with like Spanish conquistadors.
And like a future transcended
Yeah.
version of himself in a
Yeah.
in a bubble with a tree in it.
It's dope. It's a mind trip.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Does it have like that Aronofsky stamp
Yes.
on it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Where you're like, do I know what's going on? Do I know? I feel like if I know, I'm smart, and I can tell my friends that I'm a smarty pants.
Yeah.
It has a bit of that.
That's definitely the case with Mother. Neither one of you have seen that movie?
No.
It's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. And it really drives home his obsession with the Bible, which I'm intrigued by. I don't know if he's a religious person or if he just likes the storytelling aspect of the
I
Bible.
assume he
but-
went to. I was reading just really quickly on Noah, and it says when he was 7, he wrote a story from the perspective, I guess, of the dove on the ship in class.
When he was how old?
He was 7.
Okay.
So I feel like you probably write that in like Sunday school at some like
Yeah.
Christian thing, right?
That means you're growing up in church. So it sounds like it's a part of his life,
Yeah.
whatever that means. So, like, what are some of the things that you'd say are like these stamps of Aronofsky? If people are wondering what you mean by that,
I don't
you
even
mentioned like sensory overload, which I think is something that we
Sensory
can sort of
overload
get.
for
Not so much as
sure.
Noah, but definitely in Requiem.
I don't even know if I could describe it. He just has like a visual tone. I don't even know if that's true, because like if you compare Black Swan to Requiem,
Yeah,
those two movies
are closer.
closer.
Yeah.
They definitely feel like they're made by the same director.
Yeah,
And Mother is very, very chaotic and like hyper visual, and again, like you do have that sensory overload aspect to it.
yeah.
I guess maybe that's it. I guess maybe it's just like the overwhelming nature. Like he really goes hard at whatever he's driving at. I mean, I don't know how to describe it.
I'd say part of it, based on what I'm thinking about those other movies now as well, is that he's not, a lot of filmmaking is really invested in like.
He also did The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Of course. Well, that like.
Gritty is an Aronofsky.
Philadelphia Flyers mascot?
Yeah,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Aronofsky directed Gritty.
No, but that's a word that I would use to describe. Like it's very gritty, very like it's usually really dark, really
Yeah.
heavy.
And
Go ahead.
and he pushes past realism. Like a lot of Hollywood is trying to like show us maybe a heightened situation, but in a kind of real scenario. And I feel like he likes to push just past it. It's a bit in the dialogue, which I want to get into a bit in like story in terms of like how his writing works, which like it's not like Requiem, like I'll get into this, but like it doesn't feel quite rooted in reality. It feels a little bit elevated. Like the characters are just a little bit pushing
But see,
at times.
I don't know though if that, because like I wouldn't say that's true of The Wrestler. The wrestler is hyper real.
Yeah, wrestlers is not the same. You're right.
But that's the point. Like, but that is the thesis of that. Is like these people are really living horrible lives.
Right, but I would argue that the same is probably true of Rquiem. I think that it is definitely stylized to a degree, but I think that it feels like you're verging on like pushing past realism because the situations that we're focusing on are so extreme.
Yeah. So he likes to kind of walk that line, which I think is like this line of grittiness.
Right.
Like, I think it's similar.
I need to recant my Sunday school thing. He was raised culturally Jewish, but there was very little spiritual attendance at the temple.
But the raised culturally Jewish thing does make sense.
Yeah.
Because I believe Mother as well is based, I think it's also based on the Cain and Abel.
Sure, Old
parable.
Testament, fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of an Adam and Eve and their kids type thing, isn't it?
I think so.
Right? It's like an early, I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, gritty, and there was something else I was going to say, which is, maybe it doesn't matter. But, yeah, and I was going to say that he also chooses times where he wants to show, like, just a little bit more than you expect. You know, where it's like, he picks those moments where he goes, oh, and now you're going to see this actually rather gruesome thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
for just long enough for you to realize that it's actually happening.
Yeah. You know, without making that like the point of it.
Yeah.
But he also is like, oh, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
We're gonna show you this dude's arm. We're gonna show you these people tear apart an animal. We're gonna show you
biting the head off a lizard.
A little girl get fucking trampled to death.
Yeah.
He's also really interesting. I mean, again, he has his own kind of visual tone of storytelling, which is great. But he's also a really interesting director in that. I read an article one time where he talks about the fact that he doesn't shoot coverage of anything. So you know how typically when you're shooting something, you're shooting multiple angles, so you have something to cut away to if like the shot that you're on doesn't work. But
or if like a coffee cup is in there, and
or whatever. You want to give yourself an option in the edit so you're not boned. But he doesn't do that. He's like, I have a really clear idea of like start to finish, frame by frame of this movie, and I only shoot those shots, and I don't. And part of it actually is to prevent studio intervention and the possibility of them meddling. He's like, you get what you get. I only have this, so it can't be any other way. Which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, power to that. What a rough way to get around that part of the industry, eh?
Yeah.
This like things being messed up on the editing room floor, like important things being cut and whatever, just being like,
Nope, you get what you get.
You get it. All right, shall we?
Yes.
All right, well then, let's jump into our first official round, which is story. Good?
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Nice and big. Bing, 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 ving.
So we got drug fiends versus Bible versus Old Testament Bible.
Essentially, there's a story of kind of the great story of addiction throughout the world, and then the other one is about drug users.
Hey, ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Oh, you'll be here all week.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with Noah, I guess.
Sure.
Let's
The
start
old
with it.
story.
The old story. The first story.
The old. I mean, it is in the Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh. So,
I don't know what this is. You've said this like 3 times.
the Epic
today.
of Gilgamesh is the oldest story. It is.
Is it like on Sanskrit and like? What
yeah,
is
it is ancient Akkadian, and it is the proto hero story that devolves into everything else we know as the hero's journey and all that. But there is part of it is a dude gets told that there's going to be a flood, and so he's got to build a boat, and God's like, "Here's the boat you got to build."
Yeah,
and
it
he
is.
builds it.
With how many like similar and common themes there are in those historical texts and parables, it's amazing that not everyone realizes that they're all made up.
My favorite change, though, from I like the original because with Noah he puts 2 of every animal on the boat, so the yada yada yada. Boring. The guy in the Epic of Gilgamesh, he puts on his family, some of his friends, some provisions, and a few builders. People got to build like buildings when everything's done,
some
right?
Slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna bring this into the new world.
What was I going to say? Oh, so with Noah, I thought that we were going to get like the Lord of the Rings version of Noah. Like
I think we did.
We kind of did.
Close as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought I thought they were gonna go like hard into the fantasy supernatural thing when we see
Religion is magic.
Well, yeah, I mean, they like this idea of the fallen angels as watchers and stuff. Like they're taking liberties already with the story.
Sure.
So I thought we were gonna get like that version of this story, but like we didn't really. We kind of got like little.
Like, what else did you want?
I don't know.
I
mean,
like the Watchers. I thought the Watchers were the coolest part of the movie.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I liked the Watchers. Right. I wanted more stuff like that. I wanted like other supernatural creatures. I wanted some kind of like crazy spiritual warfare. Like I wanted some kind of other magical elements besides like the Grand Patrol,
like strange
touching people,
like multi-faced, many-eyed angel designs, and like
something.
Liam Neeson as God.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Kind of thing, or like
you're describing Clash of the Titans right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, but you know what I mean, like, because we get the magic snake skin.
Yeah.
We get a lot of like power through touch.
What does the snakeskin magic do?
I think it's just passing the responsibility of saving humanity from one generation to the next.
It's a little reminder to his grandkids that I'll be right here.
Right.
Little
But
E.T. touch.
From God.
But it also doesn't make any sense because they're using the shedded snakeskin of the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would that be the thing?
Because whatever.
You need a symbol that looks good on film.
Yeah.
Does it look good on film?
It's a reminder.
It should have been an apple core.
It's a full tree.
Yeah, it's a full tree.
Right. They're
There's
just carrying
that
this tree around.
Just lugging it around. I gotta have all these kids. Gotta move the tree.
But yeah, so that was kind of a big letdown for me because they set it up as, or it felt like they were setting up a certain kind of genre or experience, and then you don't really get that. Instead, you get like an hour of kind of nothing.
It could have used like a chunky sequence within one of these like fallen cities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all we ever saw was like a weird encampment, and I feel like in that sense it could have been neat, like essentially like the inside of Mordor. Very thematic, like very visually similar.
Yeah.
Already.
You want
like
Tubal Cain's palace.
Yeah, Tubal Cain's palace, and like one of the things I think the movie misses is like the people are bad.
Well,
And you're like-
we get that. When he has the vision of visiting the encampment and
I
like
suppose.
they're dragging the women into the cages to be sold off for meat scraps or whatever.
Yeah, but like those women being sold off probably aren't bad. They're being just
No, but the society's bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what again part of the point of how it's like a bit of a shitty moral.
Yeah, you got to kill everyone because they're all bad.
It's like a ratio thing.
Yeah.
It's not that all of you are bad. No, some are going to be. But if like 40% of you are bad, then
I mean,
that's a lot of bad apples.
it's a lot of bad apples. That batch is pretty ruined.
Pretty ruined.
I guess so. Gotta burn it to the ground.
But I'm just more speaking in terms of like variety of mythos.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as opposed to like them in the woods. You know, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a side story with one of the sons being like fully off there.
Well, there was a lot of just them in the woods, like, which is weird because there felt like so much empty space in this movie, which would otherwise be used for character development. But at the end of this movie, I feel like I have no idea. I couldn't tell you anything about any of the characters, even their names. But you know what I mean? Like I don't like name one defining characteristic of any of them. Okay, name two. Name two characteristics of any of them.
Gaslighter.
They respect their father.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One
Emma
one really
Watson's
wants to get laid.
Ela wants a baby.
Yeah. As
Yes.
you said, UN ambassador for
Women's Rights. Emma Watson chose to play a role where her main character objective is baby.
She goes as far as to say she's not a real woman
Yeah,
because she can't have a baby.
She's barren.
Yeah.
Very Old Testament. I
Very
will
Old
say.
Testament.
Very Old Testament.
I mean, you're giving a very stark creation of what that myth is. It's bare bones. I get it.
All right. Well, speaking of empowered women, let's talk about Requiem for a Dream.
Okay.
So
She's gonna be on TV.
she's going to be on TV, which is really exciting for her.
Do you need a like heavy blanket, Daniel?
Yeah, maybe. I remember. Okay, so that was the storyline that got me the most in this. Every time I watch this movie,
mom.
Oh, it's the part that hurts the most.
it is so heartbreaking, and I can't not see my mom in that character.
Yeah.
which like
I see shades of it too, yeah.
of my mom in that
Yeah, of your mom. I see your mom
mom
all in
in
most
particular.
in most characters.
characters that I'm like, whoa.
But yeah, just like that fear of getting older and being lonely and being left by your family, and then coming upon this thing that gives you some kind of hope, some kind of reason to exist, and it just it's so easy, especially at that age, to be taken for a ride by the medical community,
Oh, yeah.
which is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of our Prince generation is like very medicated.
Yeah.
It's okay to like be medicated. We have lots of friends and people and ourselves have medications, but it's like
But the ease with which those prescriptions are given out, with such such little history given and such little attention paid to like the entire or like the circumstances of the entire issue.
yeah.
I don't know if it's as bad as that anymore. I don't know.
Doesn't seem
It seems like they kind of got hit, like the Sacklers got fucked pretty hard because of that, and
There might be also a probably pretty hefty difference between what we experience in Canada versus the States.
Yeah.
Because there's not the same kind of profit motive.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of opiate addiction here, but
Oh yeah, but you know what I mean. It's not the same thing where it's like
Come a little closer to your microphone, Jack.
it's not like encouraged. Like doctors aren't like literally going to seminars to sell the new latest drug that they'll get a nice kickback on. Like there's not. We're not living in that reality as far as that
I mean,
know.
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know.
But not to the same degree.
Yeah.
Because it's anyway.
They're still
So-
pretty. I mean, I know people who have a very like open medical history with prescription drug addiction.
Yeah.
And like
Oh, yeah.
it's like documented in their records, and
Yeah.
they will go to the doctors for like muscle pain and be prescribed a fucking bottle of Percocets.
Man, I had Percocets twice when I had my gallbladder out. I had them once because I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, I better have it. They gave me the full bottle, and then I had it a second time, but I was feeling better, but I was just like, I should have another Percocet, I guess. And I got so high, and it was really awesome, and I just put that bottle away,
Yeah.
and I did not touch that bottle ever again, and I threw it out.
My experience was a little similar. I had an abscess a few years ago on my tailbone, and they gave me Percocets for just like killing the pain after the surgery, and the pain was gone in like 2 days, and then within like 2 or 3 days after that, I was using the Percocets as sleeping pills, and then I had to give them away because because I was like, oh, I'm gonna use these regularly.
Yeah, the last time I was in the hospital, I had hydromorphone. I've told you about it.
Yeah, you sent us messages.
I said,
And you sent messages that were like pain go bye bye.
pain go bye bye, pain go bye bye, and sense go bye bye. It was great, but holy shit, no wonder.
Yeah. I'll say just in terms of the movie again that I really appreciate how much this film relies on the visual medium of storytelling.
Yeah.
Because some of the writing it's like a mix. Honestly, some of it I think is really good, and some of it I think is just outside of. I like the style that it's in, but it's like I could like almost hold the script in my hands sometimes. Like it was so like it was such a cudgel at times.
How do you mean? Explain yourself, sir.
Like Ellen Burstyn's monologue that she has,
Right.
is like both really wonderful.
Did
and
she win the Oscar? Anyways,
quite possibly do check, and it's like really wonderful and really wonderfully performed. It's amazing to watch, but also at the same time, it's like there's that kind of writing where like the script doesn't even feel like it's there, and there's the kind of script where it's like really it feels like it's in the room with you. And sometimes that's good, honestly, and sometimes it's not. And I didn't think it was bad for this. Like, again, I'm not saying I'm criticizing it. I liked the overall shape is really what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
That it was kind of not about that. It was really about what you're seeing and taking in from that. And the characters are trying to live a different story than what you're seeing them live. And that's like part of the tragedy, is that they don't know what movie that we're watching.
Well, that was a fast round.
Yeah, it moves. Well, we had to talk about Gilgamesh.
True.
That took like 45 seconds.
Well, anything else you want to say about it? So something that I really liked is that side of it, and not to mention, yeah, I guess I won't say anything else for now. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think we should explore the kind of visual storytelling more in the next round.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
So, well, I'll get to this in acting. Never mind. Sorry.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this movie just holds a particular place in my heart because of, like, I don't know anybody who has particularly fallen victim to heroin addiction, but I have had a large number of people in my life who have fallen victim to a lot of other addictions. Right. And like it's bad. Like a lot of the what's the extreme nature of what we're seeing in this movie is like not exaggerated.
It's the movie does an incredible job of showing how all the characters at the start have real desires and cares, and by the end the only thing that matters is the addiction that they're feeding.
Yeah. And it's like, it's only tricky side of the storytelling is that it's in the hour and 40-minute frame. You know what I mean? Because you can't make this a week-long movie that like really shows the development. But even still, I think it does a really good job of like parsing out. It never feels rushed. It never feels like, whoa, this is quick.
No, the movie feels like it's 3 hours long.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually kind of, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
It feels dense.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Okay.
All right. See you in a minute. And welcome back. Let us jump right on into round 2. Production. Good? For a second, I almost forgot what round 2 was. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's fair.
That hesitation was me going, the brain thing.
Is this our first movie pairing of the year?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. That's fair. You're allowed to forget. So production. Yes.
Pretty good in both.
Pretty good in both.
There's some bad green screen in
There's some really bad green screen.
Yeah, where they're like walking on the wall essentially.
Yeah. Generally, I mean, kind of, I guess we can pick up your point from the last round.
Do.
About kind of the visual storytelling aspects of Rquiem. I mean, the getting high kind of jump cut sequence got a little tired after a while.
Oh yeah.
You could tell that like they really loved it.
Yeah, they really loved it, but it was a little
Like the
confusing
creators.
because I wasn't sure. Like, clearly they are heroin addicts, but they also do like a bunch of different drugs.
Yeah.
Right? But so, like, I know that we were confused as to whether they were also doing coke or if they were snorting the heroin when they weren't shooting it. Or
Oh,
like,
I see. I didn't consider that it could be the heroin. But does it work like that?
Like, so long as it gets into your bloodstream, it should work. But I
you
don't
can
think...
definitely do bumps of heroin. I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do lines of it though.
Yeah. So they were doing downers and uppers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are definitely times that it seemed weird because they would show what looked like cocaine. Cocaine. I don't know what to say.
Cocaine.
I can't like that. It looked like a cocaine. But then they would show them like all messed up, like they were on a downer, like heroin.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, go on.
But like interesting stuff that should feel hokey or cheesy in other contexts, I thought worked really well. Like the split screen stuff, like happened once or twice.
Yeah.
Was used really effectively when we're seeing, the conversation through the closet door between the mom and the son, or when we're seeing them laying in bed, we want a close up of both people, but it's like flipped upside. Like no, it wasn't flipped. It was just
it was horizontal.
It was horizontal.
But it also wasn't in sync. Like, it was a stylistic thing. Like, he'd be reaching over with a hand that was still like, there were some artsy choices there.
Yeah, and I caught that too, and I thought it was really interesting because it was a really effective way to just convey like the sensuality of the moment as opposed to it being hyper realistic. I guess is what we were talking about before. Yeah. And all the stuff with the mom slowly losing her mind.
The fridge should be like a funny Sesame Street bit.
Totally.
And it's like terrifying.
And it's terrifying. And even the stuff of her kind of like scanning her house and seeing the food pop up on shelves and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it does look cheesy, but it totally fits with what's happening. It totally works.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess in that way it's not really hyper real, but like it is kind of, if you consider the mindset or the what's what I'm looking for. If you consider the mindset of the characters that we're watching.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quick point, I think why also her story is the saddest is because, and it's really made clear in all the aspects of her journey with it, is that she doesn't know that she's doing drugs.
No.
That's the part that's like extra tragic about
Yeah.
it, is that the other three people we follow are like, they know that they're doing drugs, and the point that like the son even finds out and he's like, Mom, you gotta stop. Because he knows that he's doing drugs. He knows that it's fucked. But she has no idea. That's the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really gross, and that was my point earlier. Is that I can't not see my mom in that, because I can absolutely see her going to the doctor for something innocuous, and coming home with really dangerous, hard hitting drugs, and having no idea because she trusts her doctor.
Mm-hmm.
The point of the podcast is, don't trust doctors. I think, right?
And it is, yeah.
No,
I guess it's not really a production thing, but it drives home. Like, in the end, all of them are actually just looking for like love and validation. That's what they have at the beginning of the film. The mother and the son, not so much, but Marlon Wayans has his girlfriend at least at the beginning, and she's nowhere to be seen by the end, and he's staring at his mom's photo.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! And they're all addicted to love, and they can't get love, so they go to other addictions.
Yeah, it's I think one of the tricky sides of it is that we only see, like, we see also the mom story from the beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas we join everyone else's story midway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're already heroin users. We don't see how the son got into it. Heroin.
Yeah.
So we're already part way with them, which is tricky. But anyway, like, I think just how, like, I think this movie is really honestly great with almost every choice of visuals, even the style of some of the camera work. Like, it feels, I don't know if it's just a byproduct of its age, of it being from 2000 or whatever, but like
Come a little closer to your mic.
It has sort of like a retro look in the film that they used, or the cameras they use, like when they're moving the TV across like the
Yeah, I don't know. What year was this movie?
2000, 2001, something around there, I think.
So that might be like just shooting it on film.
On film, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It had like almost like this home movie vibe sometimes.
Yeah.
But then it goes away later.
It's certainly not a studio movie by any
it
means.
feels
It's
very
not
indie.
Noah.
Yeah,
it's not Noah, which is very clean. But Rquiem struck me as like the prototypical Aronofsky audio journey too.
Yeah.
Where you are hearing things constantly all the time, and sometimes it's that Requiem for a Dream song.
Sorry, which one? Sorry, I don't know which one do you mean?
Da that one. Yeah. But it's he overloads you, and then the moments of silence are the more awkward. Like, it makes you more uncomfortable because suddenly you're deprived of what you've been hearing the entire time.
Yeah.
You're in withdrawal.
Building up to that sequence at the end where they have the mom getting shocked, and it's like it's like linked with the music, and it's rough. It really is, and I don't know if it was just our version of it or the actual mixing of the movie, because often struggled to hear some of the lines that were said, but the
Yeah.
music was so pronounced. And I don't know if that was a mixing choice or
just my HDMI cable being
yeah,
fucked.
yeah, maybe. But it seemed like I don't know. It kind of seems like they wanted the music and stuff to be a bit overbearing at times, for sure. Like definitely at times it was definitely a choice.
And Noah was I like the design of Noah. I like that a group
agree.
of designers sat in the room with Aronofsky and they said, we got to create this pre-flood world that doesn't look anything like the Earth we now know.
Yep.
It is a barren, stripped landscape. And how do people survive? What do they look like in this? I like that.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was pretty good. And by that you mean like the rock monster angels, right?
Fuck yes.
That's what you mean, right?
Rock monster Transformers
Rock
all day,
monster
every day.
This movie had a surprising amount of CGI. If you had
Yeah.
told me that,
So
that
much.
Noah would be like 50% CGI, I would have been like, no. But yeah, when they were just like walking on the ground sometimes, I'd be like, no, they have
Yeah.
the ground in the real world. And they go,
Yeah.
no. CGI ground.
CGI ground.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Gotta look barren.
But they built a bunch of wooden structures, which is like
Yeah.
at least the bare minimum.
This movie to me felt a lot like a director doing a studio movie so that he can pay for his next
For Mother.
or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I was surprised to see that he wrote the movie as well. Like, I don't know if he was commissioned to write this thing or
No, it's like I said, he did that story about the dove and Noah, and apparently since then it's been something he's wanted to do. He worked on versions of the script while he was in purgatory with The Fountain, because Brad Pitt was
Oh.
originally supposed to be in The Fountain, and they were
Right.
they were going with it, and then Brad Pitt pulled out, and then there was a big time where they were like, oh, so he started working on Noah a little bit.
Oh, I see.
interesting.
And The Fountain's 2004.
Oh,
I
I
want to
see.
say, so which is 10 years before the release of
Noah.
Noah.
I see.
That's surprising. Because it doesn't, this movie doesn't, it feels like the Aronofsky version of the Noah story, I guess.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a movie that you would expect from Darren Aronofsky. Go ahead.
You know what I like about his production style is that he'll do things because of that version of grittiness that we talked about. He'll make things feel important without having to do some of the trademark kind of Hollywood tricks of urgency, where it's like suddenly there's we have to have a chase scene, or the music has to get and this things have to happen. There are heightened moments that happen and fights in this movie, but it also feels kind of slow paced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like this race that because it's not trying to be an action movie, but it kind of is, and it's like the genre of this movie is weird.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, something also typical to his movies. You're like, what genre?
Yeah.
Requiem is a drama for sure.
Yeah, but
Noah's like, what?
Noah's a biblical epic.
Yeah, I guess that's an epic. True.
Yeah. He's trying to do the 10 Commandments,
Yeah.
but his version of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't quite feel epic. I feel
Doesn't it?
At times it does, but I feel like this movie, because it is slow paced, almost to a fault at some points. I feel like this movie could have been half an hour shorter.
Oh, we needed to get that boat in the
Oh,
water
yeah.
way sooner.
Right.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not just me then.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
We needed more of the wizard grandfather, I think.
Oh yeah.
More Methuselah.
More Methuselah.
More Tony Hopkins Methuselah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking blessing people left and right. Just fucking tapping foreheads.
Not left and right. Oh, you want that?
Yeah,
You want that.
giving him all kinds of superpowers and
Yeah, I didn't fully understand why they chose to live in the barren wasteland desert and not near the mountain where their grandpa lives, the only other person.
Well, I think he doesn't want to. He doesn't want them around. He's Methuselah. He's old and cranky.
He seemed pretty welcoming.
He was pretty welcoming.
but he also was in hiding for decades.
Are they super beings? Is that what this is a production note? Because are they supposed to be super men because they are descendant of the first man, and then all the Canaanites are just mere mortal kind of dealios?
But wouldn't they are all descendants of
But
Cain and Abel. And Seth.
No, yeah, Seth. They're
not
they're descendant
Abel.
of Seth, not Abel.
Cain and Seth.
Cain. Well, yeah, I don't know the lineage there, but the Cainites are the embodiment of sin and evil, and therefore do not get God's blessing.
And then one of them also was it Noah's dad or someone else who like had a fire sword that made a fire wave?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Like I know what you mean. That's a weird part of it.
It was a Marvel movie for the first hour 20.
And I was thinking that in this movie that I was like, oh, that's what some lovers of the Bible
Yeah.
love about the Bible is that they're like the real first superhero was God.
But
And
this
I'm
is what
like,
this is what I was saying. I thought that we
God.
were gonna get like the super magical version of the Bible story,
Yeah.
be based on how they kind of started it, and they like pepper in these little like,
Yeah.
magical moments. They never explained, but it wasn't consistent.
No, because if it was too magic, then because the Bible has to be just magic enough, right? It has to be just magic enough that it's not totally ludicrous, even though to anyone who like reads
Yeah.
it and is like, whoa, I'm sorry, he lived how many thousands of years Methuselah did? Oh, wait a minute.
Well, he's a wizard.
He is
He's
a wizard. He is the prophet
There's
of
like a
the
subtle
story.
implication too that it's like more magical the further you go back.
Yeah,
I feel like it's supposed to be. It's built in. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's not magical anymore because it's
because we
time.
fucked it up.
Well, because
Yes.
Adam and Eve were straight up aliens
in
in this movie.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
glowing
Glowing
god
glowing-
aliens.
yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
But instead, Noah was just like really dope at murdering.
yeah.
Was it because he didn't get touched by the snake skin that he didn't have his powers?
But he
as
did
much?
get touched, didn't he?
No.
No, he was reserved. Oh,
But
right.
then it
yeah.
became weird because now I pass it on to
He's
you. But
passed
it's like
it on
you
to-
didn't
but
get
your
it.
kids, his kids didn't get it.
But it was inside him all along, or whatever.
Yeah, the real
The real.
the real snake skin was
genocider.
the children you had along the way
Yeah.
with Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of
Danny?
round. All right. Let's move into our third and final round, which is acting. Good? Fight. Week of Jennifer Connelly, by the
Yeah.
way. Shout
Yeah,
out
Jennifer
to Jenny.
Connelly week. It's the season of Jennifer Connelly a little bit.
It is, yeah.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Jenny C.
We'll have to get,
big fans. Get her on the
Top
pod.
Gun 2 on the pod.
Hmm. Yeah, you'll make me watch that film again.
Yeah, let's do it,
For
Sean.
sure.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
I've
and
heard it's
people like
amazing.
it.
Yeah,
That's
I
because
know.
people are dumb.
It makes me fucking mad.
People were upset that Tom Cruise didn't get an Oscar nom.
Holy shit.
That's a little insane.
for being dad herder the energy. You know, the dad herder energy.
I don't, but I
You
like
don't.
it. No.
Some person
Dad
does.
Is that one of Noah's kids?
I'm a dad and everything's right because I do it the way I do it, herder. That energy.
I have not heard
Top
this.
Gun 2.
Top Gun 2. You kids don't know how to fly your planes.
Back in my day, we used to go pew pew better than you do
You
now.
bunch of nerds trying to read your books.
Top Gun 2.
Herder. I get it, actually.
We're
I get
eating it.
So,
Jenny
acting
C.
wise, Ellen Burstyn is fucking
fuck.
incredible.
That
Yeah.
scene is.
Because she's essentially alone in this movie. Like, it's her and Shooter McGavin occasionally.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I refuse to learn his real name. Like, I refuse to learn, like, put it to memory.
Something McDonald.
Shooter
Yeah.
McGavin.
So Ellen Burstyn was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role.
Good.
For this movie.
For this movie, she
Good.
was up against Laura Linney in You Can Count on Me, Juliette Binoche in Chocolat, Joan Allen in The Contender, and Julia Roberts in Erin Brockovich. And that was, of course,
Brockovich.
the year that Roberts won her Oscar.
That's a tough one because
Yeah.
Brockovich is also great.
Brockovich.
Brockovich was great in it.
Brockovich.
And it's also like a solo vehicle, whereas this is
Yeah.
like an ensemble.
How mainstream was this movie that it was getting nominated for Oscars?
Requiem?
Yeah.
It was mainstream enough. It was probably one of those dropped in January, dropped in late December to vie for the Oscars at the last minute kind of films.
And was it just like in all theaters? Like whenever, because when I saw this movie,
I don't know.
I saw this movie late, and I just kind of felt or assumed that it was, like super indie, like wasn't really like cult at best.
No, I don't think it's super indie. Let me look up the
But
vamp
it's
while I
Jennifer
look up
Connelly,
Aronofsky.
Jared
Oh,
Leto.
yeah. But I don't know how much Leto was a name at this point. I think he was pretty new, right?
Yeah.
He was an actor on some fucking sitcom.
He did some stuff, but I think Ellen Burstyn's performance is enough to like I think catch people's attention. It's amazing.
It's really magnificent. I mean, just the all the different versions, just the journey that her main character goes on, but then also playing the different versions of herself with the hallucinations and
the Dolly Parton version of
the
herself.
Dolly Parton version of herself, and it's just such an extreme arc.
Yeah.
And it's played masterfully. I mean, she's really. I don't know what else I know her from, but she's incredible.
We've this season, we've seen her this season
And what?
in
If you say White Christmas, I will fall off my stool.
no, in The Wicker Man.
Oh.
She's the queen bee.
She's the queen
She's
bee.
the queen
Right.
bee.
Right.
Not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that one, but that's a bad
tough
movie.
one.
This is only Aronofsky's second film, Rquiem, and he's. How many films do you think Aronofsky has released?
I think that all the ones we listed, like 7 or 8.
I think his filmography is quite small.
8. It is 8.
8 movies.
Including the most recent one, which is The Whale with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, that's him? Man, I really want to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
me
too.
too.
He's
Go.
like
It's playing
a
at the Fox. Anyway.
he's like a Tarantino-esque director, where it's like he's not a studio director. He is a fucking filmmaker, and he he only tells the stories that he wants to tell.
Yeah.
And does stuff like Noah occasionally, apparently.
He told his epic,
What's that?
He told his epic. He
told
got
his
studio.
epic, I
He
guess.
got $190 million
It
to
was
make
his
his Bible
Willow.
epic. It was his.
It was his Willow. Anyways, so Ellen Burstyn,
Yep.
Oh, so good.
incredible.
Yep.
Marlon Wayans, surprisingly
Very
good. I
Very
mean,
good.
I like him a lot.
yeah,
He's really good. He's probably my second favorite
in the movie.
in the movie, yeah.
Um,
And then Leto and Connolly, I feel like you kind of like they are one unit
Yeah.
of
Sure.
performance a little bit.
yeah,
That individually, it's not anything like whoa, but together it's quite lovely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. Jared Leto, he has two really strong character relationships in this movie. The one with his mom and the one with Jennifer Connelly, and in both, I think he's actually quite good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think
again,
he's bad.
I can see a lot of myself in Jared Leto,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the character,
Right.
not in him as a person. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I don't know. I think the cast just generally, right down to like the fucking mailman in Rquiem. I think that
Yeah.
everybody, wall to wall. With,
Keith David.
which one is Keith David again? oh. But just
Love you,
just
Keith.
everything. I think, and Jennifer Connelly also is. She was so good, and then to see what little she was given to work with in Noah
Yeah.
was really disappointing.
Yeah. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. She's become pretty disposable. Like even in top shots too. I don't give a shit
Top
what it's
shots,
called.
big shots to
She's like an
Mervrick.
ornament. But yeah, whereas in Noah, you have Russell Crowe, and Russell Crowe is really fucking committed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is super committed to making sure this movie feels grounded and human. And he is playing the scenes that he's in a way that it feels right. Like he believes his task from God is to kill babies near the end. And it looks like a person. He looks like a person who might do that.
Yep.
And
Yes, he does.
You know what I mean? You look at him and you're like, yep, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you're a crazy man.
Which makes it pretty effective in
yeah.
a movie that feels like a bit of like a clown music, like like funny weird vibe sometimes.
Yeah.
He does a really good job.
Yep, he does. Connolly is short-shrifted, and what she does get is so poorly written or overwritten, I think is probably the right choice there. That
Well, there's no
it's
lead into it.
undeliverable.
Like there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
you don't
So
know where it comes from.
You just have to be in this like mess of a emotional state right off the bat of a scene, and it's poor. Like she did what she could, I think.
yeah.
But
It's just not a concise character.
no,
And yeah, maybe there was stuff that got cut. Who knows?
best thing Emma Watson's ever done.
I was gonna say the same. Like
Yeah.
maybe I don't think Emma Watson's like a very good actor.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. Charming is Hermione, not a very good actor.
Charming as a part of that the ensemble franchise. None of those actors were super great. Those kids.
No, they just were like look good on film, and one happened to be the son of the producer.
Yeah.
Who was the son of the producer?
Mark Radcliffe. I mean, is the producer of.
Also looks exactly like fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other sons were just like annoying.
Sorry, we're shooing the cat.
Yeah, they are completely nondescript characters.
Yeah.
I like there is the movie could happen entirely without them, really.
The children?
And
The
to me, it
kids.
did.
Yeah.
Especially especially the youngest one.
Especially
Tubal Cain.
Ray Winstone.
What?
Ray Winstone.
Ray Winstone. Very generic supervillain type, but played effectively.
There's a 5-minute period in the film where the only thing he does is go.
It's also hard not to like take his performance out of context and laugh at it a bit. That he's like, "I'm a man. I take what's mine. I'm a villain in a movie."
Jason Statham?
Yeah.
He's like, yes.
That's a really good. That's a really good unintentional
Great
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
I'm a man. You're a boy. You come and what you think? You think your God loves us? He's abandoned us.
Yeah.
You know, he's like
Now he's Australian.
oh crikey! You think your God is a bit of a okay?
Yep. No.
Let it keep going. So you know, but I think he's good. He does the job with just being like kind of generic villain guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody, to me, it's just about Russell Crowe. As it kind of should be, and we got, of course, we have
Tony Hopkins.
Yeah,
Tony Hopkins showing up on set and
Phoning it in.
just being a dude.
Do you think he has a supercut at home of like him like vanishing as God in various ways? Because this is like the 7th fucking movie I feel like I've seen old Anton Hopkins.
Where he comes in, he sits down, and he's like, "And you're all gonna move around me for this scene."
He's like, "Come here, my boy.
Yeah.
What's wrong?"
Yeah. You're all gonna come to me. You're gonna feed me things sometimes. You're gonna.
Yeah.
It's just like his typecasting now is like enigmatic
Yeah.
old god.
Yeah. The wise soothsayer.
Yeah, he's Odin. He's fucking Methuselah.
Yeah.
This is just what he does now to like.
Yeah. I mean, it's the twilight of his career. He's earned.
You got to pay that alimony.
He's earned sitting on rocks and disappearing in the wind. You know, he's earned that.
100%.
To be fair, he did not disappear in the wind. He got
blown
brutally murdered by a
fucking
wave.
That was in his rider.
Fucking wave.
Yeah, that was in his rider. He was like, "I won't be doing any more wind deaths."
't do you feel about tidal waves, Tony?
Good. He's still so good.
Yeah.
So he's good, but yeah, I think to me, like, the performances in Rquiem are so yeah. Marlon is the real person that you just don't get it because he never did anything before or after anything like it.
Yeah.
That's the real confusing part of it is that he's amazing.
And I don't even know if it's like clearly he's got acting chops, but I don't know that he would be successful in a purely dramatic acting career. I think there's just such a vulnerability to him. There is clearly a hearty emotional depth there that he might not be able to convey all the time, but for that particular character, it's perfect.
Yeah. Well, as an ensemble, some people really thrive as like part of an ensemble or like a sort of secondary character.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were to lead it, they wouldn't maybe access that in the same way.
So here's my question. Sean, maybe you can field this one for me.
Yep.
Ask it now. That was a great time for it.
Good. Do you know how many used condoms Jared Leto sent the cast
Of Requiem?
of Requiem?
Oh, I'm so sorry. We
Yeah,
are.
we can't answer
We
that.
are
Sorry.
out
We're
of
very strict about
time.
time
So
on this
sorry,
podcast.
yeah.
So
Damn it.
Yeah.
I won't be able to answer that. I do have the answer though.
Did he
just
get?
so you know.
Did he at least get hooked on heroin like a true actor?
Like a true actor would have done.
He still has arms now. What a
Yeah,
fucking fake.
what a hack.
What a hack.
Holy shit.
What a
That
loser.
okay, so that is the one thing I wanted to mention about the story of Requiem for a Dream, because I am almost positive that if a heroin addict shows up at a doctor's office or a hospital with an infection due to drug use, the doctor's not allowed to call the cops on them. I think there is a certain level of legal confidentiality there as a patient.
But he didn't tell him he was doing drugs. The doctor just inferred it. I think I think they would call the cops in a southern state on these two like random vagabonds that just come into the hospital. One of whom is not the same skin color as everyone else in the town that
But
they're
the
in.
doctor didn't know that he was with the black guy in the waiting room.
Well, they clearly did because he got him arrested too.
Like, at the
Yeah.
moment that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
What
he went away suspicious. And then
what struck me as odd is I'm pretty sure the hospital does have like legally must do their due diligence
To
to try
treat
to help that person.
Yeah, that part is the part
Yeah.
that didn't track to me, that he was sent
Sent
away.
to jail, yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. That's always been the part of this movie. Like, I feel like,
It's a bit of a miss.
yeah, like it has this, it is like near perfect right up until the 11th hour. And then it doesn't quite stick the landing because the ending feels just a little too heavy handed. It feels a little too like for the story and not quite realistic, not quite grounded in reality.
Yeah. Like them going to jail together for a minute instead of just, they should have been separated right there. Kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that they would go to jail, send him to jail with the arm, doesn't make any sense at
And
all.
together.
And the fact that no one notices until he's in the lineup getting checked for
Like for work.
work.
Come on. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, these things will all be decided after we come back from this break. We will rate these movies and decide who is the winner of the two, and let you know our picks for next episode. See you in a sec. And we're back. Thanks so much. Let's jump in and close out the potty bow body, shall we?
Okay.
So let's rate these movies. So, story. So, what do we think? Point where? To who?
Oof. One of the oldest stories ever told,
It's like-
or
Arguably the first story. You know, arguably there was nothing before the story of
Addiction,
Noah
yeah, no,
that predates it. You know,
nothing. Well, actually, technically, the
story
Epic
of
of
addiction.
Gilgamesh predates.
wait, go on. What's
well,
this?
it's a it's an ancient Akkadian epic about Gilgamesh, the king of Akkad.
you are so
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, well,
What a smarty. And
with the
Dan?
party.
I'm just a little turned on right now from hearing Sean
I
talk
can
about
see that.
Understandable.
Understandable.
All right, so Requiem.
Yeah, I
It's
would
a story.
also go with Rquiem. I think that there's a missed opportunity to make the story of Noah more exciting here that wasn't taken, and Requiem felt like it was 3 hours because it was so heavy, but I also never watched the clock because it was an engaging.
Yeah, it's true. It's Requiem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like original. Even just again, the story of the mom is like
Yeah.
Oh,
is
Yeah.
more original than most things you'll see.
Yeah.
The other side is good and has a lot of originality, but like
Ugh.
the mom's part is fucking.
just like the complete disregard for her when the attendants come in to feed her, even just having this conversation about sports or whatever, and just
Yeah.
completely ignoring her
Disconnect.
humanity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Again, the doctor never looks at her.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's right.
Never looks up. Production. Well, on that note,
Requiem.
Noah. Oh wait, sorry. What?
Uh,
I'm kidding. What?
Shocker.
yeah. If there was
Bucky
less,
Larson.
if there was less obvious green screen, this might be a good opportunity for me to make my.
Because the rock monsters were fucking awesome.
They did look
pretty
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
They did look really good, and like all the stuff with the water looked good, and the.
Yeah. And them going backed up to heaven as angels, I was like, that's kind of cool.
Floating.
It looks neat. You're
The-
being beamed up.
The
Scotty.
like rock monster fight sequences were pretty thought out of how they moved and the
holding
chain
the
and how they had
chain,
multiple
which
arms,
which
that
would
they
not have kept anyone out. They're like linked. I guess Yeah, no, it wouldn't
It's
work.
just to
But
slow him down a bit.
Yeah, I
but
guess
how
so.
they smash him with clubs and
Yeah, brutally.
smush him and kick him. Yeah, it's really they
Yeah.
really murder people a lot in the name of.
there's stuff to look at in
God.
Noah. There's
Oh,
not
yeah.
a lot to hear.
No.
But there's stuff to look at in Noah.
It's pretty neat visually.
Yeah. But Requiem. And you said Requiem too?
Also Requiem.
Okay.
It was weird to me though that
like
they
a
were getting
commendation.
the fallen angels were getting. What's the word?
Redeemed.
They were getting redeemed.
Yeah, I got the word.
That was good. It's not the word I was looking for, but it
That's
works.
the one you got.
For helping humanity.
No, for helping Noah achieve God's will.
Right.
Helping
but then,
murder lots of people.
Yeah.
Right. But then once they were free of their rock bodies, they didn't stick around to help finish the job.
Well, they couldn't.
Why? Oh, I guess they were only sent down after trying to help humans from the heavenly realm, right?
Well, they weren't sent. They chose. They broke with God's faith and they went down to earth independently to try and help mankind. And God punished them by turning them into rock beasts.
Oh, I thought it was the opposite. I thought that
No.
they had chosen to try and help humanity, so as a result they were sent down to earth where they crash landed and turned into molten
No,
rock.
God was like, don't go down there and help those idiots. Don't do it.
Right.
And they were like, no, but we see the good. We
We
should go down
want to
and help
go
them.
down there.
And
Right.
God was like, you're a rock golem.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm
the
just-
creator.
I'm just an angel.
Yeah.
I want to go help them down there.
Frank Langella.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm Frank Langella.
That's classic Frank.
Yes, sir. So, yeah. No, again, many commendations to Noah. You know, good job.
Yeah.
Good
One
job.
of the better Bible movies I've seen. Probably
Yeah.
the
I would
best
say
Bible
the
movie I've
best-
seen.
Probably the best Bible
Of the ones
movie.
we've seen.
Yeah.
Apparently 10 Commandments is pretty good, so if we get
the
around
original?
to that.
Have you never seen the Ten Commandments?
No.
It's not good. It's made in like the 50s.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 hours.
but neither of those things mean it's a bad film.
No,
Daniel.
they do. They do. It's a 4-hour biblical movie made in the 50s.
With Charlton Heston.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That is a selling point for you?
I'm sold.
I mean, his ridiculousness. Yes.
It's a fucking
I'm
boring-
one of the tribes of Judah.
We got to get some John Wayne on the pod.
We
do.
do.
Oh,
yeah,
hey there,
we're gonna do the
Pilgrim.
Conqueror.
Oh,
some
the
point.
Conqueror,
He's
that's
Genghis
him.
Khan.
That's him.
Yeah.
As Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Okay. So yeah, no production, and then acting.
Requiem.
Yeah, it has to be right.
I mean, can you say there's any performance better than the performance of God?
Yes.
Ooh.
Could God create an actor so good at acting that even God could not
Beat him
know
at
that?
the Oscars?
Yeah.
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 Answer that. That's the real. Could he?
Take that.
Could they? Gender neutral God.
Could it?
Could ze?
Could see.
See.
I think that Sean knew that I said could ze, but I think Dan took that as could ze.
Could
No,
see?
no, I got it, but it was funny because it came out like could see.
No, yeah, obviously thing.
Yeah. It's
So
totally right
yeah, that pretty much handily decides it. One is a very strong movie. The other one had chances. To be clear, to be fair,
It's a shame that this is how it worked out. Because Noah, I
Honestly,
had a good time.
I would say it was a bit better than the Eagle.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're wondering,
I
where,
would
For sure.
not.
Way better.
Oh,
It's
yes.
way better
It's a
than the
little bit
Eagle.
better than the Eagle.
It's way better than
It
the
is
Eagle.
not better than the
It's
Eagle.
just like in the same bracket of all the movies we
Actually,
watched.
maybe it is better than the
It's like
Eagle.
a little
way
bit better than the Eagle.
Eagle.
Oh, it's a little bit better than the
I just
Eagle.
don't want to. I never want to shoot down tater tots, but
I know you love him.
I
That's because you're
do.
turned on by him.
And you don't.
a little bit. I
and
am.
you don't
I
like
know.
Hail Caesar.
I cannot stand
He's
Channing Tatum.
great in
no
Hail
man.
Caesar.
He seems like he is doing his best interpretation of an actor in Hail Caesar. It just seems so ridiculous.
Isn't he playing an actor? In that movie?
Yeah.
No, but no. What I
Sounds
mean
like
is,
high
And a
praise.
communist.
what I mean is, he seems like someone who does not know how to act in Hail Caesar.
Oh man.
I mean,
That was my impression on a first watch. This was years ago, so I'll give it another shot. I was also smoking a lot of pot back then, so it's possible that I'm wrong.
it's a delight.
Ah,
and art is not. subjective. So, but it's subjective. Arguably, it isn't. So, that means the Citizen Kane of the week is.
We got a winner. I said we got a winner.
Requiem for a Dream.
Now let us never watch that movie again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll get a watch from me again. I think it will.
They will.
Requiem. Yeah, it was really
I'll
good
watch
to
it
watch
again
it
at-
again.
Well,
some point.
I mean, you can because
You
you've
don't
only
need to
seen
do
it
your
once.
97th viewing of Requiem.
Let's
No,
just start
man.
surprising Dan with.
Yeah. Hey, man, you're going to love this movie.
We just like sit down for the
yeah.
podcast and you like press play on your laptop and it's like midway through
It's just the electroshock scene.
It's just the the
Ooh,
finale
I'm getting
sequence.
shocked in the
And it's like,
hospital.
It's just her taking pills. Yeah. It's really worth. I wish we had a live stream of Dan watching this movie. Of watching.
We could do that
We should do that. We should have some sort of Patreon page
for the YouTube
where-
channel.
Yeah, it's just if you donate this much, you get this film of Dan, like some weird sort of tickle porn thing where it's like if you like squeamish men.
I mean,
So,
sure.
on
Make
that
us
note-
money.
Maybe podcasts for next episode are going to be. Tell us, Sean.
It's dinner time. Yum, yum, yum.
Okay, never mind. Dan, Dan, want to tell us what the movies are?
I like that. It's dinner time.
Set the table.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Set the table
Whole
for
family's invited.
for some food, and instead of food though, you're going to be ingesting.
It's My Dinner with Andre versus Dinner for Schmucks. We're not.
I was
Yum.
enjoying that.
Yum,
bit.
yum, yum.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
And hopefully we have a special guest. Hopefully,
Yeah, we'll see if we can
if
get
all
a
things
pal
pan
on.
out.
But thanks so much. Stay tuned. Hopefully have some more podlets coming your way soon as well. If you like this podcast, you can still tweet at us while Twitter exists at Citizen Kane VS.
Did Musk ever step down
No.
as the CEO or whatever it was? He didn't, eh?
No.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
What a stupid piece of shit.
Yeah.
Unlike you, you're a smart piece of cake.
The smartest of the desserts.
Yes. So anyway, thanks so much. Tune in next episode for more fun. Let's sign off with Mozart's Requiem.